Hello! In this video, I will walk you through the Field Experience, or FE binder, that you will be using during your first placement.
Your placement is going to be an exciting and eye-opening experience. This binder will be an important tool to help you capture your new learnings, manage your lessons, and note down areas of growth for your future reflection. It's also a way for your Foundations instructor to follow your progress and provide feedback.
You can find the FE binder shell in the Foundations 1 course on Canvas. The shell can be downloaded to your computer as a zipped folder. Unzip the contents of the folder. Then, navigating to your own Google Drive, you can re-upload the entire folder. And now, since this is our folder, we can also rename it to clearly display our first name and last name in this format. And lastly, we'll want to share the link with our Foundations instructor and just update the share settings. Now that we have our own copy, let's take a look inside. The first folder is the interim report, which is where your associate teacher's evaluations will go. Next is the lesson plan folder. This is where you'll upload all your lesson plans. You may want to add subfolders for handouts, quizzes, tests, or other related materials. The key is to keep it organized and easy for you and your instructor to navigate. Now we'll get to the main part of the FE binder now, which is the Field Experience Daybook, set up as a slides presentation. Let's open it together. And while we're here, let's also rename it following the same format we used earlier. On the second slide, you'll see that the daybook includes a welcome note, placement orientation guide, placement table, observation notes, teacher candidate-led class routines, and additional notes. I'll quickly walk you through each section. The welcome note just provides a quick overview of all the other sections, so use it as a reference if you ever need a refresher. Section A of the orientation guide contains a table for you to fill out some general information about your school. You can start filling this out as soon as you have been given your placement details, with information online, and continue filling it in on your first week. Section B of the orientation guide requires you to gather information about the classroom environment, class routines and expectations, curriculum, and school-wide observations including fire exit procedures and lockdowns. Ask your AT if you need help filling out this section. After that, we have a spot for you to add your AT's timetable for reference. Try to ask your AT if you can take a picture of this during your first days at school. Now on to observation notes. This is the heart of your daybook. You'll use these slides to record what you see during orientation, observation, and your non-teaching time. Each category helps you organize your notes. You can find the descriptions for each category on these first two slides or in the speaker notes of the observations. The first category we have is program organization, which is anything related to how your AT is setting up their units. I had a lot of notes to add to this at the beginning of my observation, but as the days progressed, there wasn't as many new things to add, which is okay for this category. You can add things like how many days are in each unit, how your teacher planned this out, and anything else that comes to mind that they thought of when they were organizing their term. Then we have instructional strategies, where you can write about how lessons are being structured and carried out. You should observe some of the strategies that were talked about in Foundations 1, so make sure to note those down. Next is instructional materials, which is exactly what it sounds like. This is an area for you to keep track of all the materials that your AT uses throughout the term, including physical and digital. For student organization, you can document how your teacher groups, organizes, and arranges students for different classroom experiences. In my case, I noted the arrangement of students for daily experiences, and as the teacher ran through other activities, I added that students had to move their desks, or if they were able to move freely, or grouped in a different way, and things like that. For the classroom management category, you will likely have a few things to add here every day, because each day something new will happen for you to observe. For me, I tried to record as much as I could, even if it was small interactions. I like to note them down because I could think about them more later, even if they seemed intuitive in the moment. Accommodations and modifications might have a bit of overlap with some of the classroom management notes, but here you can delve into more detail
on specific cases where your AT created learning experiences for a wide range of learners. This could be something like providing extra time for students, putting up extra challenges during the week, or providing choice on assessments. Since you will also be with your associate teacher when they are not teaching students in class, we have this space for you to note down any additional activities or responsibilities that your AT has. This could include their supervision schedule, staff meetings, or any clubs and sports that they supervise.
And lastly, we have a category for noting down anything related to assessments. So you can jot down what kind of data your AT uses to assess students. You may find that it's easy to see the product part of the assessment, but it's worth also checking in with your teacher to see if they note down anything for themselves in the future, and keeping that in mind too. So anything like observation notes or conversations that they keep a record of. After your observation notes, you have a section where you can note down any routines that your AT has in place and comment on how you will be helping them with them. These can be management-related things like morning exercises, dismissals, or washroom use, but they can also be related to the curriculum, so anything like a spelling list or a problem of the day or facilitating a reading time. At the end of your binder, there's one last slide for you to take any additional notes for yourself that might not be tied to any of the sections that we just talked about. And that's your FE binder. Remember to keep it updated regularly so your notes stay fresh and meaningful. This binder is not just an assignment, it's a resource that you can look back on throughout your journey as a teacher. Good luck and enjoy your placement.